All right. First of all, apologies to all of you guys. I'm extremely sorry that I couldn't make it at the scheduled time today. But certainly, यार बहुत मतलब unavoidable situation थी कि मैं बिल्कुल उस situation को neglect नहीं कर पा रही थी. This is the reason कि मेरा जो live schedule है वो थोड़ा सा half an hour shift हो गया. So I hope you people didn't have to. I mean, it didn't bother you all a lot, and hopefully you all people will join now at 6. As I said that I'm going to be live at 6 today. I see Muskan, Vansh, a few of you were there. Manish has joined. Hi Manish. तैयारी पूछ रहा है मनीष सबकी कैसी चल रही है मनीष 2 ही दिन बचे हैं तैयारी अगर जैसी भी चल रही है अब उसको जोरों शोरों से वापस लेकर आ जाना है क्योंकि अगर अब कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर दिया गाइस तो बहुत सॉलिड मुसीबत आने वाली है 2 दिन इज लाइक द लास्ट मोमेंट ऑफ योर प्रिपरेशन एंड यू शुड नॉट लीव एनी स्टोन अनटर्न फॉर द लास्ट मोमेंट ऑफ योर प्रिपरेशन एज आई सेड अर्लियर इन माई लास्ट सेशन yesterday कि आज हम लोग सेकेंड सैम्पल पेपर डिस्कस करने वाले हैं which is going to help you to understand कि आपका level of preparation किस तरीके से है. So I'm going to stick to my promise. Pranika has joined. Hi Pranika. Namaste ma'am. Good evening. Namaste Vishakha. Muskan, good evening. Good evening Muskan and thank you for the compliment. Just made my day. Though I like look very different today, I know, but yeah, just felt like doing this. Yeah, Vishaka, please shoot your question before I begin with the session. और मैं meanwhile जो है question paper खोल लेती हूँ so that I can share the screen and we all can discuss the question together. Oh, just a second. I think I opened the thumbnail instead of the question paper. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, I have a question paper. So I'll just take up a question. हम लोग फटाफट से time waste कम करेंगे आज. अच्छा, just a second, hang on. So many things happening together. Yeah. Vishaka सवाल है. Everyone can try to answer it as well. Kirti usually smells an unpleasant odor whenever she wake up in the morning or sometimes in the middle of the night. Identify the type of hallucination. It's very simple, yeah. Come on. I should have a need to tell you this. Come on, come on. कौन सा टाइप ऑफ हेलुसिनेशन है इफ यू हैव रेड इट वेल यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड जिसमें स्मेल आती है स्मेल वाले हेलुसिनेशन का नाम क्या है यू पीपल टेल मी देयर आर सो मेनी ऑफ यू आर वाचिंग मी शुड बी एबल टू टेल मी द राइट आंसर मैम हमने तो स्टार्ट ही से करनी है प्रिपरेशन पहले कुछ रीजन की वजह से नहीं हो पाई सो सारा रिविजन अब से करना है ओके सो सारा रिविजन अगर अभी से भी करना है तो रज के करो बिल्कुल भी टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना है और अभी भी अगर इतनी तरीके से कर लोगे सही तरीके से बढ़िया तरीके से मेहनत कर लोगे तो मुझे नहीं लगता है कि कोई भी प्रॉब्लम होने वाली है सी olfactory and gustatory में confusion है why this is such a simple concept why this confusion when you read the concept on your book itself you will see this thing names written right next to it when you say auditory it means hearing when you say visual it means dikhne wala when you say gustatory it means taste when you say olfactory it means smell so you need to know this. I mean, do not get confused with such simple concepts because ये तो बिल्कुल भी ट्रिकी कुछ इसमें है नहीं यार मतलब do a nice study तुम कर पाओगे इसको आंसर so I have Muskan, Soumya, Tanisha all of them have answered the question correct so I'm quite happy with it. और किसी का कोई सवाल है तो जरूर शेयर करो so that हम लोग सब मिलके उस सवाल का I found this question on site correct as gustatory दे रखा था must have been some huge confusion then in that case. All right, let's begin with the today's session, guys. I'm not gonna waste. अच्छा ये तो कल वाला ही sample question paper खुल गया है. Wait a second. Let me just change the question paper. No, then it's wrong, Vishaka. Thank you, Muskan, for backing us all up. Can you tell the difference between aptitude and interest? Aptitude होता है कि आपकी underlying potential to do an activity. Okay, for example, you are good at so for example, you're good at this thing. You're good at dancing, and when you take a little coaching, you'll do even better. Okay, this is called aptitude. Interest होता है कि if given a choice, what are you gonna do? With your this thing. I was just trying to take out the question paper. That's why, guys, just hang on for a minute. So, if you have a choice between science and English, what do you choose to do? Is basically define your interest. Okay. Yeah. कहाँ चला गया? Such a confusing thing happening. Same question paper खुले जा बार बार. नहीं, this is the one. Yeah. Finally, I got it. Sorry, guys. Muskan Singh, that's what is. Can you describe one factor theory? Come on यार, ये कैसे सवाल पूछ रहे हो? One factor theory का मतलब है कि जो भी activities आप करते हो, that's basically been done through one specific abilities of an individual. Ma'am, which chapter carries the highest marks? 2 and 4. They contain the highest marks. Chalo. Sorted, yeah. Oh God. Share screen, present. Share screen, window, this. Done. Let's begin. Without wasting a second, guys, not getting onto that. First question, Ritika never got an opportunity to complete his higher studies education, but start up an idea. He's got selected as the best idea in the country. The judges appreciated his business sense and they promised to finance it. Which type of intelligence has been displayed by Ratik in the given example? Analytical, creative, contextual, या componential? कौन से टाइप की इंटेलिजेंस रतीक ने डिस्प्ले करी है? पढ़ाई नहीं करी है बट काम अच्छा कर रहा है, तो कौन सी इंटेलिजेंस है? क्रिएटिव है, एनालिटिकल है, कॉन्टेक्चुअल है या कॉम्पोनेंशियल है? सो दिस इज एन एग्जांपल ऑफ सी, कॉन्टेक्चुअल इंटेलिजेंस. ओके, नेक्स्ट. Rosa failed to pass a test and asserts she would have done better only if she had taken tuitions like others. Which defense mechanism is this? Reaction formation, rationalization, denial, or repression? Denial, rationalization, reaction formation, or repression? She failed and then she said ट्यूशन लेती तो बेहतर करती. कौन सा डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म है? जल्दी से बताओ. A, B, C, D. You can just simply write the number. Yes, B. Rationalization. Correct. Consider the following statement with regard to the structure of personality and consider it. And you have to tell which one is correct. Yeah. Id is found at all levels but mostly preconscious. Ego is mostly found at a conscious level. Superego is totally in the conscious level. Which is the correct response? 1 or 2 are correct, 2 and 3 are correct, only 3 is correct, only 2 is correct. It is found at all levels but mostly preconscious. Ego is mostly found in the conscious level. Superego is totally in the conscious level. To be extremely honest, मुझे इसका जवाब नहीं पता है. 3 का जवाब क्या होना चाहिए? You tell me and give me a response because I need to actually get in details of it to understand. Id is found at all levels but mostly in preconscious. मुझे लग रहा है ये सही है. Ego is mostly found at a conscious level. Ego, which is a reality check, so conscious level correct है. Super ego is totally in the conscious level. Preconscious, unconscious, ये भी सही लग रहा है यार, सभी सही लग रहे हैं. मुझे लग रहा है सेकंड और थर्ड सही है. What do you think? Like I have a feeling कि सेकंड सही है. Ego is mostly found in the conscious level, सही लग रहा है. सुपर ईगो इज टोटल नहीं नहीं रुको आई थिंक इसका जवाब जो है वो होना चाहिए wait we need to actually get on to the diagram of chapter 2. All of you can take it out and I think we'll be able to answer it. A very trick question matlab quite interesting. Nice. I'm very impressed with the quality of questions. सबको confuse कर दिया है. हाँ. So if you see unconscious, pre-conscious and conscious. So id is present only in the unconscious. First वाला गलत है. I think second and third is correct. ठीक है. Got it. So the correct answer is second and third, which is correct, and the rest is wrong. I mean, first explanation सही नहीं है, second सही है. Correct? You need to refer to the diagram given in chapter number 2 and you'll be able to answer this. Very nice. Trick question. Rajesh feels lucky that he is often. Can you all see the question before? Yeah, you can see. Rajesh feels lucky that he is often the first choice of his friends when they need help with mathematics and take pleasure in helping them. Rajesh is high on self concept, self control, self efficacy, or self esteem. Clear answer is self esteem. Um, Attending her college graduation ceremony, Asima feels a deep sense of achievement and pride. She is nervous with excitement and cannot wait to receive her certificate she worked so hard for. Hans Sally would say she is experiencing distress, eustress, secondary appraisal, or exhaustion. So, according to Hans Sally, graduation ceremony hai, she feels deep sense of achievement and pride. She is nervous with excitement. So, I think eustress is correct. Mohit is afraid of getting his first full time job. The coping skill he's used are aimed at improving his interview style by practicing daily. So he's using problem focused. Yeah, yeah, he's using a problem focused approach. Correct? Six ka A. Harshit has recently received a scholarship for studying in a prestigious foreign university for pursuing a post graduation in management studies. His family, on the other hand, is undergoing a financial crisis and requires him to work full time in order to fulfill their basic needs. This has put Harshit in a confused state. Harshit is currently undergoing a state of conflicts, trauma, hassle, या aggression. Conflicts. When Lady Macbeth washed her hands repeatedly until they were raw and red, Shakespeare provided an example of which disorder? OCD. I think कोई भी doubt नहीं है. Correct? Now we come to assertion reasoning based. Genetic factors have been linked to mood disorders, schizophrenia, mental retardation, and other psychological disorders. I think mental retardation has nothing to do with genetic. Oh, genetic factor. No, genetic factor has nothing to do with mental retardation. So A stands false. Many genes combine to help bring about the various behavioral or emotional reactions, both functional and dysfunctional. That is combined to help bring the various behavioral and emotional reaction. I think A is false and B is sorry R is true. So I feel this should be uh, yeah. I think C should be the answer for question number 9. Mary tends to perceive every event as negative. If the phone rings, she thinks it is salesperson trying to bother her. If it doesn't ring, she thinks nobody cares about her. The negative interpretation are at the root of the are at the root of her interpretation according to behavioral perspective of normality, social perspective, cognitive perspective, yeah, psychodynamic perspective. So इसका correct answer है option number C. Joseph Wolf developed the theory of systematic desensitization by using the principle of people cannot be afraid and relaxed at the same time. People will repeat behavior which is rewarded, and people will not repeat the behavior being punished. Timeout is not effective because it is impossible to eliminate all the reinforcements. So the correct answer for question number 11 is A. Okay, people cannot be afraid and relaxed at the same time. So this was the principle of reciprocal inhibition which Joseph Wolf gave, and I'm sure you should be able to answer it all. गाइस बहुत ट्रिक क्वेश्चंस हैं एंड एक्सपेक्ट करो कि एग्जाम में भी इसी तरह के ट्रिक क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाएंगे सो ब्रेज योर सेल्फ फॉर सच ट्रिक क्वेश्चंस मेरे को एक काम करना पड़ेगा ये इसका हाईलाइट क्यों रखा है करेक्ट ओके नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन assertion रीजन पे आ रहे हैं assertion है rehabilitation is required to empower the patient to become productive member of the society to extent possible correct in severe disorders such as schizophrenia reduction of symptom may not be associated with improvement in quality of life. I think A and R both are true but they are not, it is not the correct explanation. So इसका सही जवाब है ऑप्शन नंबर डी. Whenever Rohan feels stressed out due to the work pressure, he goes out for drink with his friends. He would feel relaxed after being drunk, and after a while, this became a pattern. He developed a habit of drinking alcohol even for minute stressors because he would feel relaxed after drinking. Tell me, the antecedent factor in Rohan's life would be addiction of drinking, disinterest, work related stress, and relaxation. So you need to identify the antecedent factor, which means what is leading to the problem. It's not the problem that we're referring to. It is the antecedent factor, guys. So the correct answer for 13 is C, the work related stress. Okay, please read the question very, very carefully, otherwise, you can actually end up answering it wrong. Neeraj has always struggled to get decent score in mathematics despite the efforts he put in. His parents always criticize him by saying he just doesn't work hard enough and therefore lags in the subject. Because of the unattended criticism and nagging, Neeraj decided not to make any effort for a subject, and no matter what he does, it will always lead to negative remarks. Neeraj is using scapegoating, self-fulfilling prophecy, canal of truth, या social identity, strong social identity. So इसका सही जवाब है नीरज is using self-fulfilling prophecy, जो कि है option number 2. Yes, B. Good, good, good. Malvika doing so far very well. Anna, the head girl of the school, Anna, the head girl of the school, gives more opportunities to the member of a red house than to blue and green house. This is because she feels they're less capable. She even ignores the advice of the teacher to give equal opportunity to all the houses. Which strategy will help in handling this prejudice? Highlight the group identity rather than individual identity. Increase the interaction with the member of all houses. Keeping the red house members higher in power or status, and creating an environment for all the houses to meet in a competitive and a cooperative context. So इसका सही जवाब होगा ऑप्शन नंबर क्वेश्चन नंबर 15 का ऑप्शन नंबर डी. Okay, you like your mother does not like pet. You like pets according to Hyder. The triad is in this theory is balance, yeah, imbalance. Balance for your mother, but imbalance for you, or none of the above. You like your mother does not like the pet, but you like the pet. So two positive, one negative. What state of, whether it's a state of balance or imbalance, you people tell me. Hero feels that using a mobile phone when in a meeting jeopardizes the individual's ability to concentrate and give inputs. He discusses this with the colleagues and hears similar opinion. Thus, decides that everyone will keep their mobiles at the desk and nobody will be allowed to carry their phone with them. They enter a meeting or a conference. Identify the phenomena. Is it's a group polarization, group facilitation, similarity, yeah, group formation. So the correct answer is it is a group polarization. ठीक है, taking extreme decisions because you have similar people with the similar thoughts and similar point of views. Yeah, correct. I think so far we're doing really well. सबके सब बढ़िया जवाब देते चले जा रहे हैं. I want people to respond a little more, react a little more, interact a little more. Okay. A certain reason in a behavioral rating, rater may carry biases that influences their judgment of a different traits and be influenced by a single or a favorable trait. This is called, just a second, guys. Yeah. So behavioral rating में क्या होता है? Rater में carry a biases that influences the judgment of the different traits and can be influenced by a single or a favorable trait. Reasoning दी गई है. The situation stress test is used to provide information about how a person behaves under a stressful situation. मुझे लगता है A और R दोनों true हैं, but not a correct explanation. So for 18, the correct answer is B. Yes. Moving on to the next segment. I'm very sure I have cancer, even though all the reports are negative. I'm sure my diagnosis. I think I will go to the third doctor as at least at the last two could not detect anything. My close friend called me other day to share that she has cancer. Ever since I have had sleepless nights. Please identify the disorder. Come on, this is really easy. Somatic symptom disorders हैं यार. Identify the specific disorder over here. Okay, so you should be able to identify कि कौन सा specific बात की जा रही है. So tell me the answer. 19th का somatic symptoms. Okay, what could be the other option? Somatic symptoms था और दूसरा क्या था? Second वाला क्या था? Is she talking about symptoms or is she talking about an illness? So you need to be very, very careful here. She's not talking about symptoms. She's talking about an illness. उसके दोस्तों की illness सुन के उसको problem हो रही है तो it's an illness anxiety disorder. मतलब somatic में ही illness वाला है ये. This is not symptom one. Got it? Please somebody come up with the correct option for this question. Illness anxiety disorder. Right. So Anjali communicates her feelings and views clearly with confidence. She could say no to a request or a state an opinion without being self-conscious. Which life skill is she using? And suggest two more life skills that can help Fatima meet the life challenges successfully. So she's using assertiveness, and you need to come up with two more, जैसे self help skills या being time management. ये सब two more है. तो ये सब use करना. Ritu has been overwhelmed by a quantum of work in her office. She has been advised some stress management techniques by her counselor. What are the two techniques that you would suggest to help her to manage stress? So you can now come up with the techniques to be very precise. So you can say creative visualization, you can say relaxation, yoga, meditation. These are all techniques. Okay, so be very careful with life skill methods, yeah, life skill techniques, and generic techniques. I'm a failure. How would an Aaron Beck understand the situation view from the therapeutic techniques? So Aaron Beck जिसने फर्स्ट एबीसी दिया था उसके अकॉर्डिंग ये आई एम अ फेलियर वाला स्टेटमेंट इंसान कब डेवलप करता है सो यू नीड टू एक्सप्लेन एबीसी सो यू कैन सी दिस थिंग इज कमिंग अप टाइम एंड अगेन ओके सो यहाँ पे जो है एरन बेक का एबीसी समझाना है एंड सेकंड वाले में एटीट्यूड का एबीसी समझाना है सो योर स्कूल would like to build an awareness about saving water. Identify and describe the ABC over here. Very, very simple. Okay. What is group? Explain the two features. बहुत ही आसान है जो भी उसकी दो डेफिनेशन के साथ ही बनता है कि दो और दो से ज़्यादा मेंबर होते हैं रोल्स रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज ये सब कुछ इसमें डाल देना है अब हम आते हैं 3 मार्क के क्वेश्चन के लिए अना इज ऑफ average intelligence was high on ability appraisers express and regulate her emotion identify the intelligence she exhibits and why it is receiving so much attention these days suggest some of the ways to enhance this kind of intelligence of the students in school. Okay, so she's high on emotional intelligence, and we need to speak about the relevance of emotional intelligence in our day-to-day life at the moment. Okay, so this is a question जहाँ पे आप define करोगे, explain करोगे, characteristics बताओगे, and why is it important from today's point of view. 3 mark में cover करोगे. Many psychologists believe that the best criteria for determining the normality of behavior is not whether society accepts it, but whether it is maladaptive or not. Explain this with an appropriate example. Okay, so you need to go back on your chapter 2, go back on the reasons of maladaptive behavior and explain maladaptive behavior and use the example, relevant example from there itself. Anshu feel that assertiveness is and successful women might become too powerful and neglect their family responsibility. Explain the factor that will help in changing Anshu's attitude towards the assertive and successful women. So you need to come up with the change in attitude wala concept. What will you do to change the attitude of Anshu? So you have three techniques: balance fit हो नहीं रहा है, consonants वाला हो नहीं रहा है, तो two step method हम use करेंगे and explain करेंगे. A person X is prejudiced towards the religious community by thinking that the member of the community are very orthodox and rigid in their mindset. Define prejudice and its ABC components in detail. So, should that? बहुत simple सवाल पूछा है. You are new to the school and would like to be a part of the group. What are the three aspects would join? Would I mean? Why do people join the group? वाला explanation है. 3 point लिखने हैं. 3 number मिल जाएंगे. I don't think any difficulty so far to any of you. In case you're facing any difficulty, please do let me know. I'm gonna straight go ahead to the next segment, or because we're running a little short of time, I might not go ahead with the last segment today. And मैं E section के बाद आज की क्लास को खत्म करूँगी. So we are left with just last two section D and E. क्या हो गया यार? Why so many of you have left the session today? I mean, क्या बात हो गई है? Is there any problem? Like, would you like to discuss something? Would you like to speak? I know I'm being very mechanical today because I'm in a little hurry. I want to wind up the session. I have a few commitments post this. So, in case I've been too fast, please apologies for that. Also, guys, in case you're listening to me, please do like the video as well because that ways I get the motivation कि यार यू नो सब लोग सुन रहे हैं, उनको पता चल रहा है, इंटरेस्ट आ रहा है, तो वीडियो को ज़रूर लाइक करना. ठीक है, और आगे बढ़ते हैं. ओके. Raghu and Rajiv are twins and they have been separated early in childhood. However, they both show considerable similarity when it comes to intelligence level. So यहाँ पे guys, अगर आपको पता होगा कल भी जब हम सैम्पल पेपर डिस्कस कर रहे थे तो रोल ऑफ इंटेलिजेंस में नेचर और नर्चर का जो रोल है उसके ऊपर आया था, और ये भी वही सवाल है कि अर्ली सेपरेशन हो गया, ट्विन स्टडीज की बात हो रही है, उनकी इंटेलिजेंस की बात हो रही है. हाउ कैन यू एक्सप्लेन द सिमिलैरिटीज इन दैट इंटेलिजेंस? सो यहाँ पे भी द रोल ऑफ हेरिडिटी पे ऊपर एम्फेसाइज किया जा रहा है, एंड दैट इज व्हाट यू हैव टू एक्सप्लेन इट ओवर. नेक्स्ट आता है, हाउ डज हार्वर्ड गार्डनर्स अंडरस्टैंडिंग इंटेलिजेंस एक्सप्लेन एनी थ्री टाइप्स ऑफ इंटेलिजेंस थ्योरी ऑफ इंटेलिजेंस एंड डेमोन्स्ट्रेट. मेक श्योर दैट यू राइट द इंट्रोडक्शन वेरी वेल. अगर इंट्रोडक्शन के बिना एक्सप्लेन कर दोगे तो नंबर थोड़ा कम मिलेंगे, तो वो गलती बिल्कुल भी मत करना. ठीक है. Anjali is a child who exhibits behavioral issue and also fails to control her anger and most of the time. In order to help her, which personality assessment technique or personality test would you suggest in the preliminary intervention and why? तो आप कौन सा पर्सनालिटी असेसमेंट करेंगे? उसको अग्रेशन के इश्यूज हैं तो आप साइकोलॉजिकल कोई टेस्ट इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं, आप इंटरव्यू ऑब्जर्वेशन कर सकते हैं. तो जो भी आप इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं उसको जस्टिफाई करना है. ठीक है. और आपको यहाँ पे कोई भी दो प्रोजेक्टिव टेक्निक के असेसमेंट को एक्सप्लेन करना है. सो यू कैन गो विद रॉशॉक एज आई सेड व्हाइल आई वाज डिस्कसिंग दैट चैप्टर, एंड यू कैन एक्सप्लेन टीएटी, यू कैन एक्सप्लेन पिक्चर फ्रस्ट्रेशन टेस्ट. सो ये सारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स एक्सप्लेन कर लेना. प्लीज डू नॉट स्पीक अबाउट रॉ पर्सन और ये रिपीटेड वार्निंग्स गाइस. Individuals differ in the coping strategies that they use to deal with the stressful situation. Justify the statement highlighting various coping strategies suggested by Endler and Parker with a suitable example. So मुझे नहीं लगता एंडल पार्कर बोलते ही they're being very very clear कि आपसे क्या एक्सपेक्ट किया जा रहा है. गाइज आपको सवालों के टेक्सचर देख के समझ आ गया होगा कि जो सवाल होने वाले हैं दे आर नॉट गोना बी अ स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन. They can be extremely trick question and you got to be very very well prepared in terms of understanding कि किस तरह से उन सवालों का जवाब देना है. तो आपको जो 15 मिनट मिलेंगे ना, आपको उसका वेल यूटिलाइजेशन करना है, क्योंकि वहां अगर गड़बड़ हो जाती है ना तो आप जो है यू कैन एंड अप मेसिंग अप विद योर एग्जाम. ठीक है. So I don't want that. Please make the best use of the time that you get because that's the point of time कि आप जो है अपनी उसको चीज़ों को जो है ध्यान से कर पाओगे. ओके, जस्ट अ सेकंड. Moving on to the next question for you all. Okay. What is the therapeutic relationship? What are the major features and components of relationship? मुझे पता है कि 6 मार्क्स के हिसाब से बहुत बड़ा हो जा रहा है, but you have to be 4 नंबर का है, ठीक है फिर तो. Tanya is a 7-year-old child diagnosed with ADHD who shows impatience, inability to wait for her turn, and hyperactivity. Suitable example of behavioral therapy. What can be used to help her symptoms? So I think impatience and inability can be treated for a 7-year-old with the help of reward, punishment, token economy, um, हाँ, reinforcement. आप ये सारी चीज़ों को इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो for a young baby, okay? But for a bigger ones, you can use more complex strategies. But बच्चों के साथ reinforcement rewards ही काम करता है, so hence focus on that. चलो नेक्स्ट सवाल है आपका 6 नंबर का. डिस्क्राइब फ्रॉइड स्टेजेस ऑफ साइकोसेक्सुअल डेवलपमेंट. ओरल, एंगल, फेलिक, जेनाइडल सब कुछ लिखते हैं. Explain how humanistic approach to understand the personality and explain the personality development. So they are referring to Carl Roger, they are referring to Abraham Maslow, and they want you to write depths and details of it. ठीक है गाइज. मैं सेक्शन एफ आज नहीं कर पाऊंगी. कल हम फिर मिलेंगे विद अ न्यू सैम्पल पेपर. एंड जिसके भी कोई सवाल अभी बचे हैं, कंफ्यूजन अभी जो बचा है, मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में लिखो. लेट्स हैव अ चिट चैट एंड गेट ओवर विद इट टुडे. कल बिफोर आई बिगिन द सेशन हम लोग इसी का जो है ये करेंगे पहले. आई विल डिस्कस the last section, the F section, with the case studies, so that you get exposure of that as well, and you will understand कि उसको कैसे आंसर करना है. अभी in case anybody wants to ask me any question, I'm open for it. Otherwise हम लोग आज का सेशन एंड करेंगे and we'll catch up tomorrow again with a fresh paper along with certainly the last questions over here. um, okay. ऑल्सो किसी को भी अगर कोई सवाल है जो मुझसे पूछना है. लुक्स लाइक किसी को कोई सवाल है नहीं. ह्यूमनिस्टिक अप्रोच क्या जानना चाहते हो? उसके अंदर कार्ल रॉजर ने जो एक अप्रोच बताई थी उसको लिखना है. अब्राहम मैस्लो ने थ्योरी ऑफ हायरार्की जो बताई थी, फिजियोलॉजिकल नीड, बिलोंगिंगनेस, एस्टीम नीड, सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन, वो सब एक्सप्लेन करना है. Then for Rogers, you have to explain self-actualization as well as real self, ideal self in details, fully functioning individual. So ये सब कुछ बहुत अच्छे से करना है. Paper presentation tips. Malvika, I've already uploaded a video. So you must go through that कि कौन से question को किस तरह से attempt करना है. It's already there on my channel. So go in there, watch it, and you will get to understand कि कितने नंबर के question को किस तरीके से attempt करना है. Okay, so you two all have a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow to check the timings. कल का session हम लोग थोड़ा सा लंबा रख सकते हैं because yes, tomorrow is going to be a very important day क्योंकि उसके अगले ही दिन भाई साहब solid board का exam है. So मस्त एकदम session करेंगे कल. आप लोग अपना सब ध्यान रखो, अच्छे से revision करो, अच्छे से पढ़ाई करो, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.